Welcome back, guys. We're about to jump straight into the action with an exciting match between Squared and Pride.
Looking like a good game. I'm Squid, joined by Hawker for this fourth match of the day. It's the winners match. We're finally going to see some winners. Squared, actually surprising, and it's Train. So I was saying to Nikita, at our cute little bar that we've got set up just over there, I can see it. Just in the distance. I didn't want Nuke, I didn't want Train for this next in winners match. I feel like this is something that Squared could have a bit of a say in, especially if they start on that CT side.
Yeah, we'll get to see the knife round come into play and see if they can start things off on that favoured CT side. Stabs back and forth. It looks like it's going to be Pride holding on. No way Morales chokes this. There we go, closes it out. So Pride get to start on whichever side they want. That should be good for them to be able to start CT, you would assume. There we go. And we will head underway. And let's see if this time everyone can actually buy something for the pistol round.
Yeah. What just popped into my mind was it was actually the T side that was the more favoured one for Square, wasn't it, on Nuke? So being on the T side of Train, if you can rack up the 8-9 rounds, that is almost insurmountable comeback for a T side to mount. I don't know if Pride are going to be able to really get that going. Pistol round in, as Pride haven't brought up any kits whatsoever. Jordan with the nades, no Molotov B sight, but Maniz already getting countered. Right, getting rushed down by Nyx, one of the stars from the previous map.
They're going to make their way towards B very, very quickly, but Tom, through the smoke, does get one kill back. Looking to tap away, but can't quite connect with the headshot just yet. And Impulse himself will find a frag. Tom finally doubles down on the round. They're still going to need a little more if they can actually close this one, and there's still a player in connector. Tom's going to try and make his way forwards. You can see Chev low on health, just trying to make sure that someone's looking his way, and there it is. They overwhelm Tom. Reitz gets his way forwards, but doesn't get anything out of it. And so Squared, again, they get off to a strong start. They win the pistol round, and they were allowed to sort of dictate the pace. Again, this is what we saw on Nuke. They decided to go for a fair few fast plays to get that fast lead, and that could be a similar position here if they do manage to win, again, a few more rounds to start the half.
Mac 10's out for this T side. They're starting with those, and Pride haven't really gone for a massive investment. Just 2 sets of Kevlar, both head armor, and Reet sending one of those towards the B site, where there's a big rush coming through from Squared Esports. They're already being wrapped in by an aggressive Deagle. Morel's gone, and Reetz, can't connect the shots. It's Chev instead to find a headshot and close down B. Should be 2-0 for Squared, a similar start to the one they surmounted on Nuke.
Mac 10s get a couple of kills. Actually a team ace for Squared, so a bit of money built up. Of course, on the Pride side, not really expecting to see too much into this round. Just a Deagle for Tom. Not too much else coming through. Should be fairly easy at this point for Squared to take yet another round. They can just send the Max in first, try and see if they're going to run into a stack. Which could be the case, because Pride do have 5 players towards this A side of the map. And Impulse is going to make his way forwards. He is one of the players with the SMGs. Spam through the smoke. It's actually Nyx, who is not cut off by a smoke to get that opening kill. So they are going to run into the stack. Doesn't seem like it would be too successful for Pride, although Impulse's Mac 10 is dropped. You can see the AKs have got their teammates back. And Reitz, the only man left, will surely fall. Let's see if Jordan can get that AK picked up. Yes, he can. So all 3 rifles saved into the subsequent round.
No kills on those Mac 10s, though. A little bit of money, potential money lost for Squared. Their economy not faltering nonetheless. 3 players on plus 6,000. Now Pride have to go for this buy. They've finally got the AWP for Maniz. As this initial buy round comes through, it's all about just trying to hold sturdy, strong, and stable with this CT side. Should be fairly easy, some would say, as Morzel does put the first frag on the board, twist around and try and find more, and that was a fast shot. Morzel annihilating the competition, funneling them towards B. Chev and Dav have to make this assault down, but Reet has spotted it out. He knows exactly what the T's plan is, and Dav stuck out in the middle of B's site. Should be counted out here. Has found a gap behind one, and wants a little bit more. Great trigger discipline, but will it amount to much? He has found 2. There's 1. Oh, and he's disappeared like a magic trick, like an absolute magician. Surprised everybody, and Tom does find that kill. Where did he go?
Where's he gone?
Is it in a
Is that Ghost? Paranormal activity?
Don't get me started on ghosts.
Oh, okay. You got some bad history there? Some bad blood?
I think I might be a ghost.
I was going to ask that, but oh, okay. Shoots his teammate, but gets the kill nonetheless. Mini's going to find the first kill for both sides to start things off. Of course, if you've got your crosshair trained on an opponent, you kind of just have to pull the trigger. You have to sacrifice your teammate. Just has to happen. Tom, I'm sorry, but you are out. And Morels is going to push
Tom's
into
a ghost. He was the guy that disappeared. He's shooting the ghost.
It's true. Tom shouldn't have died.
That's in-depth analysis from ELC Gaming.
Oh, yeah. Only the best.
On the MountainDew analyst bar. Give me some MountainDew.
Please. Manice has the AWP still over towards the A site, so that does mean Reitz could have a tough time holding off towards B. Seems like he won't be tested too hard, though, because Squared have a fair few players focusing in on the A side of the map. Morels is still here, though, pushed up. This is allowing his teammates to stack towards B. However, if the Ivy push comes out, this Pride setup doesn't look too well poised to counter that. Morels does need to get a kill before he goes down. Will Nyx clear the corner? That is the question on everyone's mind. He does just about react for that opening kill. And now Luz has it all to do, spraying away, but he doesn't find a single frag. Manice did get into position, and he gets himself 2 frags back. Trying to dance around the site, looks for another one, but Shevchuk takes him down. And so Reitz has to move back to try and get this kill. He hears the steps, he spots the man, but does eventually get the kill. And now he knows where Chev is, back towards Ivy. Has the molly if he wants to use it, but just fakes the defuse, trying to play for the frag. Oh, the timing is so awkward. Chev doesn't get the kill. How does Reitz survive there? 11 HP. He just about closes out the clutch. And Pride win the all-important second gun round.
Chev's going to be absolutely kicking himself. Remember, Pride even helped him out when he's getting that team kill initially, and from there on, it was just downhill for Squared Esports. Did manage to get that bomb down in a 2 versus 1, but Reitz being able to claw it back. And what a perfect way to get back on the scoreboard, 2-3. This round bringing a full gun round once again. Of course, Pride, 5 rifles. Squared starting to be a little lax on that money. That wallbang, incredibly precariously close. That one too is Morzel hidden away in this corner. Impulse just trying to get cheeky.
Cheeky Chappy in towards Popdog. Will he be rewarded for his play? Doesn't seem as though anyone's going to move in towards his position. In the meantime, Pride again have 2 players towards the B bomb sites. That could leave A somewhat vulnerable, but Morels will get some advanced information, and oh, Manice. This is a risk, but the timing is right. Oh, he could catch them in the back here. This could be everything. Manice drops the bomb, and that one kill gets so much info. In the meantime, Reach spots out the push towards upper, and Squared 1 by 1 fall apart on the B play. Tom even gets another kill, and Morels is in position. The cheeky Chappy is rewarded with a double kill for his push, and Squared should now finally be forced back to an eco.
And Pride seem to have probably watched that initial match on Nuke. They aren't making the mistakes that Kingwin made. They were playing far too passively, really timid on the site. You can see Pride trying to take some aggressive plays, trying to take the initiative into their own hands and actually find these initial picks and really fluster Squared before they can execute onto either one of these sites. They were setting up for a B execute, but the push came through and Reitz was able to find the first shot, more obviously behind enemy line as well. It's just left, right, and centre, Pride finding those initial frags. This time not working out. As the CZs do punish, 2 kills for Squared.
And the B site is wide open. Tom tried to play close into Popdog, but that doesn't work particularly well when your opponents only have pistols. And the CZs obviously can always get the kills up close. Impulse will finally be dropped. So that's the first kill of the round for Pride, but Jordan sitting in the smoke. Could he catch a player in the back? Well, it doesn't even matter because Nix himself gets a kill. Finally, Mini spots out Jordan, who was trying to play a sneaky position, and Luz himself does win another fight. So we're back to a 2-on-2, and there are still smokes to be deployed. One goes in towards upper, a flash actually to slow things. The defuse is being stuck. Chev has to spray through, but the defuse is looking good, and Luz does get the kill to make sure the defuse can come out. Chev is going to try and see if he can save something, but only the P250. However, still a bomb plant for Squared, and certainly not a bad round considering the investment.
So you can see Squared are throwing Pride through the loop. They're going for these pretty aggressive plays and actually catching them off guard a little bit. But Pride are playing it so calculated. They're not losing all too many players in that retake and the afterplants. They're playing no BS Counter-Strike. You see the smoke goes down straight on the defuse. They are playing this game like they're playing against noobs, unfortunately. And look at Moors. What a stunning shot to open things up. Dav as well does pick one back as Luz trades it forth, back and forth. He's very low, but Pride, you can see they are starting to dominate. And I am worried for Squared. What happens when they start to run out of ideas?
Could be worrisome, especially when Pride continue their aggression. Manice gets the one kill in towards A main, and Squared were way too split up. That allows the aggression to find success. There's Impulse to get one shot back, but in the meantime, his teammate was gone. Okay, Impulse gets a second shot through, but on 5 HP, still nothing to be done. He's not going to be too much longer for this world as Manice gets to save the AWP away, and this looks like it might be Squared taking a time out fairly early on. They should still get the buy in their hands, but now the double AWPs are coming out for Pride.
We watched it earlier. Their CT side's nothing to be proud of. Their CT side on Nuke, for instance, was pretty trash. If we're perfectly honest, I think they took 4 rounds in total to lose that lead, only able to clutch it out in overtime and knock Kingwin down to that bottom bracket. But here on Train, if I'm perfectly honest, I'm expecting something fairly similar. They know that as well. That's why they're going for this timeout. They know how many rounds they need on that CT side, T side even, because they know that they're not going to get all too many when it gets to that defensive half.
They are still, of course, going to invest into the buy. AKs across most
I like
of the
that
team.
ELC sign on the truck. I wonder who put that there.
I think it was me.
Yeah.
I'm taking the credit.
Yeah, I'm tilted.
Either way, Squared do still have the AKs. Let's see if they can hold off for the aggression we've seen come out from Pride early on so far. A couple of nades in towards T main. Pride themselves will play into Pop Dog, or else yet again willing to play here, going for that peak. Such aggression coming out. And that nade will drop down on towards him, but he manages to avoid it, still making noise. Squared certainly are aware he is here, but can they do anything against that? 5
versus 5 as Pride, obviously that double up setup, as we've been mentioning all day. So crucial. And Moore actually goes for that peak once again. A team kill and a frag. Means they're 2 ahead. Traded back as Morzell goes down, and I can hear chat going wild. I think that they're probably saying la 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 in the chat or something.
Yeah. He doesn't land on the ladder.
Yeah, they're
kills
talking.
Himself.
They're talking. They're having a bit of banter.
Bit of bants, cheeky bants.
Cheeky chicken. Nando's with the chat.
Gotta love it. Again, though, Squared lose the opening exchanges. Morales has really been a little bit of a nuisance there in towards Pop Dog so far. Even when they try and shut him out, they don't really manage to do so. Manice with the AWP of all things, trying to get the kill in towards Pop. You can see Squared forced to force the issue towards A, but I don't think they're going to find too much. Impulse only going to get the 1 kill, and Chev could get this second frag. If he does find it, there's a chance for him, but he's way too far away from the site, and now Manice is rotated over. Is Manice going to push this smoke? Yes, he is confident in doing so, and that's because Tom instead will just get the kill. So Pride continue to keep their winning streak going. I believe 6 in a row for Pride now, and they will continue with these double AWPs. To be honest, it hasn't necessarily been the AWPs that have had to do too much. It's just been Pride overall going for aggression and getting advantages early on.
Well, they only just got these AWPs out. They've not had a lot of practice with them so far this match. It's been the M4s really chipping in. I would say Morzell has been such an influential player. Here in Pop Dog actually finding the opening frags. It might be the AWP this time though, as Maniz up close is actually going to whiff that first frag, and a thunder of footsteps approaches as he needs to hit more. Support as well for 3. Means he wants to go back for more. And knees, Reeds, they're both going to finish off their job. Impulse does take a couple of attacks and a few frags with the Deagle, picks up an AWP as well. As Morzell cleans him up 7 rounds in a row for Pride.
Yeah, they are really starting to get things going. Of course, Squared were down to a somewhat poor buy there, so they will be back at it with the buy. They have the AWP and they have the rifles to work with. On the Pride side of things, of course, still going to stick with the 2 AWPs. They haven't been tested too much as of yet, so we will get to see if Squared do try and force any fights against those AWPs early on, because you can see on the map, guess where Morelts is going? Straight in towards Pop Dog. We've seen it the whole half, and we're going to see it continue on their CT sides. Going for the peak again. Nyx is the man up on top, trying to get the spray through the wall, but instead, elsewhere, it's Dav to get that opening frag. Luz is trying to hold off with the AWP. Doesn't seem like he's going to get too much of a chance. And oh, Morelts did get sprayed there in towards Pop Dog. So now these 2 AWPs have to hold on to A, and that means they must not miss any shots on the hold.
I'd like to see Squared counter this. You can pop 2 or 3 HEs down into Pop Dog every single round. Morels, more or less, is probably playing more aggressive than passive when it comes to the Pop Dog hold. So 2 or 3 HEs, $900. That's all it needs to really clean him out. And this time it's a headshot straight through the side of the railing, but Squared this time. B site pretty open. Flash comes out. Reets a lot of work to do. Hidden on this site, finds 2, but no more as he gets traded out. Jordan, nice frag. Means Luz with an AWP has it all to do. Watching down this angle, just holding pretty attentively, but you see how little Squared are peeking. Impulse actually reveals his head, but Luz doesn't spot it and gives away a 4th.
Finally, Squared get a gun round to go their way. And more importantly, Pride are not going to have the double AWPs this time. In fact, their money isn't built up as much as you may have initially expected with so many rounds won in a row. I mean, just looking at the money, Squared actually have a bit more cash in the bank just off the back of the 1-round win alone. So we'll get to see if this buy round can make the difference for Squared. If they get this one, then they should be able to have a fairly good T side, all things considered. Seems like over towards B. Reets has taken some damage. He was there by himself, so he is forced to play things safe. Might call for the rotate over, but hasn't done so just yet with the resmoke coming up. Now, however, Manisa will rotate over with that AWP just to make sure it is fully safe. Lures out towards Ivy, though. Might just go for some aggression here. It seems like he's willing to go for this push out. He's gained a fair bit of info there on the other side of the map, which could be useful for Pride.
Yeah, he's practiced this angle of engagement quite clearly. He took it pretty much perfectly with Squared funneled into this A site. Gonna have to go for an execute. They've got plenty of nades to make this one work, but Pride have plenty of players to shut it down. And Jordan, he's about to fall foul to this aggressive push of Reed. Straight back through the smoke. Pride so clever. Keeps a man alive.
And again, it's the aggression from Pride that gets them that first kill, and then they just hold on to the man advantage the entire time. Can already see Morelts continuing to play in towards Pop Dog. Flashes coming over the top. Squared have to go now. 25 seconds left, and oh, Morelts was taken down there. There's a player in towards Evox. Tom gets a couple of kills. Actually, only the 1 frag before he goes down, but the rest of the team was able to clean up. Impulse, though, getting a couple of kills, but with 10 seconds, he has to just commit to the plant. He has to try and cross to the site. 6 seconds left. Impulse, trying to plant as safe as possible, will be able to do so. But with the AWP, so difficult to get both kills. They're already up close. How can he do it? Gets the no-scope, but not quite the second. For a minute there, I thought maybe Impulse would have been able to get that second shot. If it was another no-scope, that would have been insane. But Reets puts an end to his dreams. The 3K not enough. And Pride still looking in good shape ever since we've got to these gun rounds.
Unbelievable. Gets your heart pounding. 8-4 now is Squared. Those were the plays that they were relying on earlier to take those miracle rounds, but this time Pride aren't giving in. They're dwarfing this T scoreline, and this is looking like a standard game of train. And if Squared are going to win this, it can be far from standard. They want to be taking probably 8 to 9 rounds on this T side, because I've got a funny feeling that their CT half's going to be exceptionally weak. Morzell just peeking in, watching PopDog like he commonly and usually has, still not being countered by the nades. I'd like them to throw in the Valiant's double HE downstairs, but it's not going to happen. Squared Esports need me as a coach, quite clearly.
Well, this looks like a pretty nice execute towards B, but Reitz counters with the Incendiary, and he actually gets a first kill in towards upper. Playing around the blue train, gets a second frag. And already you can see Squared trying to funnel their way towards the site. They are going to get the bomb down. But actually, Reitz might even push and deny that from happening. The bomb's still not planted, and Reitz gets 3 kills on the round. The team has already rotated over. And Squared, it looked like the nades were fairly well prepped there, but after they lost those first 2 kills, they didn't really know exactly what to do from that position.
They had no idea. They were completely clueless.
Yeah.
On that site, Reitz played that full buy round like it was a complete eco, just dodging and weaving. He's on 15 frags, an absolute monster over towards this B side of things. And this time it is indeed an eco round. They've got nothing but pistols as they want to funnel into A, and this one's going to be just as easy to contend with. There's a Glock's rain through, but can't find even decent damage. It's 10 rounds for Pride as they pretty half-handedly, pretty easily deal with Squared.
You know what I would like to see?
Squared actually do something.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to go like that. I was going to say, I want to see a heat map of Morelts. I feel like it's just all at PopDog. He's literally gone there.
Dot,
yeah, he's gone there every round, and they just haven't counted it. Look, he's doing it again. He's just going to do it time after time. You can't let him do this every single round.
Oh, they finally do counter it.
There we go. The first kill comes in. They take down Morelts. Round of applause coming out. I mean, to be fair, that was nicely done. It's just like, if they know how to do a setup like that, why not do it earlier? If you know Morelts is pushing there.
It's late adaptation, and that's something that you see amongst the best teams in Counter-Strike. It's quick, adaptive plays. It took Squared literally the whole half to actually think of that strat. And to be honest, it doesn't really take a genius to decide to just stack 2 players down there. They did try and do it halfway through the half as well. This time it just worked out. Morzel hasn't been invincible, so to say. He's been killed 3 or 4 times down in PopDog so far, but he's just been such a menace, and Squared haven't been able to take it all too many times. And this time, oh, the full flash comes in. Luz, easy pickup.
Wasn't even the best spray down, but it didn't even matter. He gets the kill. I think I could have got that kill even. That's how easy it was, and there we go, an easy kill back from Jordan. They're going to try and overwhelm this A site, and Tom, by himself, pushed up through the smokes. Such a risk to take when you're in a 3 versus 4, and the risk does not pay off. Even if he gets 1 kill, that wouldn't have been enough. And so finally, Squared, off the back of Jordan's 3K, should be closing this one out. Of course, Manice has to go for it. Last round of the half, so that all will attempt to see whatever it can get. He's going to get just too many players peeking towards him, though. So 5 rounds at the half. It's maybe doable for Squared. On a map like Train, 5 rounds is okay, but you have to remember they won the pistol round. The buy rounds were just so against them. Yeah,
as soon as Pride had guns in their hands, they were dispatched of pretty damn easily. Pride seemed to run rings around them either side. No success at A or B, just a couple of opening frags converted into rounds, I guess. Nothing in the way of actual executes either. Squared have had an absolutely phenomenal run in this tournament. Hats off to them. They've been absolutely brilliant, but this winners match seems like they have bitten off a bit more than they can chew. And now they've got to deal with a fast and ferocious B push. A frag comes in already. Impulse, a star player dropping down. These Glocks getting up close and personal as Jordan finds one of his own. Dav as well, chipping in. As this 3v3 comes through, but Chev trying to tag one more down. They've got a crossfire. This could be brutal against the Glocks. As Chev actually does even more damage, but Morzel and Reitz superior on B, 11 rounds.
That pistol round might just put them too far gone. Squared going to have to invest what they can. Deagle bought up. And Pride, again, we see this very often from Pride. They like to just go for the full rifles on this sort of round. It's obviously a big risk to take. I mean, if you somehow lose the round, you've got no money in the bank. You also can't really build up too much cash. But I guess when you're so far ahead, that's not as much of a factor. I think the flash bounced off Reach there. It didn't quite go out towards B like they anticipated. But Pride will still look to overwhelm A. And, oh, Dav does get the 1 kill. A couple of kills coming in for the CTs. In fact, Jordan doubles down. And out of nowhere, Pride down a man, but Manice will make sure it's not like that for long, and Luz himself wins an individual fight. There we go. The rifles do mop things up, even though Squared got a good start to that round, not holding on.
Doubles down, and just like the KFC double down, leaves a slightly sickening taste in your mouth and feeling in your stomach. Pride still on 12 rounds regardless, despite losing a bunch of players and being forced to go for a fairly full reinvestment, keeping a couple of AKs alive, mean that they don't have to go for them. Instead, it's mainly MAC-10s brought up and Chev up top, trying to take the tags, but instead it's Pride who come out with the frags, and Jordan's only able to find one on the safe site. And needs pouring in 13 rounds.
Basically what you'd expect. Squared here, going to have to buy up, of course. Impulse can get the AWP, but this utility is not looking great. Okay, Jordan gets himself a full set of nades. However, other than that, just a couple of smokes to work with between the players. I suppose Dav does also have the kit, which is good to see. And Pride themselves, they're going to stick with the MAC-10. Tom could certainly shred those opponents without the helmets if Squared aren't careful. We are actually going to see the push come out very fast towards A. There's someone on the A site for Pride right now. Is that Tom? Yes, it is going in. The MAC-10 gets 2 kills. Finally, the trade comes out, but that is just not enough. A is taken, and Pride continue to assert their dominance.
Yeah, Pride are looking absolutely phenomenal right now. They're abusing every little weakness that Squared has in their defense. And let's be fair, they don't have many weaknesses, so to say. They're a bit slow at adapting. They are missing a couple of these shots, but you can see if you're allowing one player to just pour onto the site with a MAC-10, there are some pretty fundamental problems. That AWP range through again, and it's Impulse. One more time, finds both.
Okay. Despite Tom getting 2 kills with a MAC-10, the rifles cannot close it out. Good shots from Impulse there to close the round, and he did have to nail every single shot to secure the round win. However, Pride, of course, will now have the full rifles on their side of things. To be fair, Tom could have probably gone with the MAC-10 again and tried to do the exact same thing. However, I don't think it would have worked twice in a row. We are going to see Chev himself push up into Pop Dog. Maybe trying to give Morels a taste of his own medicine. Doesn't seem like Pride are too interested, because instead they will focus towards Ivy, where Manice does win the Battle of the AWPs. Impulse just caught off guard there, not expecting the push. And look at how vulnerable A looks right now.
A trade back from Davis. Tom actually chips in for a second. Oh, Manice misses a crucial frag, but hits the follow-up. Pride are swarming this site. They're absolutely everywhere. And again, Square can't deal with this. I really struggle to internalize any possibility of Squared able to maybe find a couple more rounds. Tom and Reeds traded in. 14 rounds in Squared's economy. I think it's going to be in tatters once again. Yeah, they've got nothing in terms of money to really be able to buy this one up. And it's not looking good whatsoever.
Pistols across the board. No kit, couple of nades. And I guess a dream for Squared is something you can throw in the mix. They are going to try to stack again towards A, but Tom continues the aggression. Pride just so confident at this point. They know they can take these fights. We are going to see Chev get 1 kill back, but Reitz holds the man advantage. Luz gets a kill himself. Oh, Dav nearly gets a frag, but the dink will not do the trick. Pride up to 15-6, and this is more what we were expecting to see from Square coming into today, just struggling individually. Pride continuing to keep up the aggression themselves, and again, Square have to force at this point, last round potentially, but just unfortunate for them that they couldn't really ever get into this CT side with how the first half went.
Yeah, Pride just absolutely dominating and steamrolling. This T side as well has looked even more convincing. We said that the CT side of Squared on Nuke looked a little lackluster on trade. It certainly does. A map that you should be able to hold it in is looking very flawed and very open right now. With the pistols, last round, shouldn't be able to do all too much as the AKs rain in. They are doing damage, and the Eagles do chip back. Impulse just padding his stats slightly. A couple of kills in, but it's the AKs reigning superior, 16-6 for the Polish side. they're going to make their way to our grand final in about an hour and a half's time, 2 hours' time. And their opposition, Impulse and Co, will be making their way to that decider match. Obviously, fighting their way for a spot in the final. Either way, we're going to go to a quick break after. Joining Nikita on the desk for a bit of bar chat.
Place your bets on more than 15 esports games. Deposit and withdraw easily using many worldwide payment methods. Place your bets live while enjoying the game. We offer 24/7 support and bonuses for every new user. Bet now on ArcaneBet.com.
Hey guys, what a game.
What
Dominating
a game.
win. It's what we expected, and I think we really thought coming into this, like I said, I don't want to bang on, but Kingwin, Pride, two top teams. Kingwin didn't show up, but Pride, on the other hand, seemed to be really stepping up after that. I guess a bit of a closer game than we expected against Winigo, but closing it out against Squared at the moment. What do you think?
I think in terms of the Wendigo game earlier, a bit underwhelming from Pride. I felt like that should have probably been a much more convincing scoreline. It wasn't, so to say, and I was slightly disappointed. But this one, back to form, back to usual form, Polish team steamrolling on Train. And I did say maybe Squared would have a slight advantage coming into it, again, because it's one of those maps that you can close down on the CT side. It's actually the easiest map, in my opinion, to actually play that CT side, especially with Impulse's AWP. He, again, was actually fragging like pretty damn heavily. 17 frags for him in the end, and a lot of crucial kills as well. A lot of clutches, a lot of those big plays coming through.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny because actually when we were talking about the maps beforehand, I was thinking we hadn't seen Train now so far just in this stage. So it was really interesting to see it pop up and for them to just kind of steamroll through it. So that's it. They're through to the final. Squared now face off against Winigo. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that Squared are probably not going to do too well in that one either. I feel like that's probably going to be, they've bitten off more than they can chew. I feel like I've been saying that from the first match today when they really did upset Kingwin, and no matter what Kingwin's performance was all throughout the day, that is still a big upset. That is still something to really give themselves a pat on the back. They are amateurs at the end of the day. They're not professional salaried players, as we were saying earlier, and yeah.
But you don't think that they could beat Winigo?
No.
I mean, such a good performance against Kingwin, and then carrying on through, and even now, you know, even though they lost, you would firmly put your money on the side of Winigo?
Yeah, I put a lot of money as well. I feel like Kingwin, there are a couple of factors behind the Kingwin loss. Of course, they're boot camping today, so they've just arrived in Warsaw literally 5 minutes before loading up on the server. And remember, they sucked the first half. They were 9-1 down, really struggling against that T side. And that's just because they weren't very hot. They'd just gotten out of a car, out of a train, and straight into another train that was just steamrolling ahead. And they really did struggle just to hit their shots. Just the fundamental Counter-Strike was really missing for Kingwin.
So going back to the match we just saw, did you see any weaknesses in what Pride were doing?
Not really. They were maybe a little bit predictable. We were saying on the desk how they could have probably been abused with nades a little more, playing a player into Pop Dog in every single opportunity. Train is probably not going to be a map picked. I would hate to see other people play it, but now seeing them play it, I feel like if I was coaching, I could probably find a couple of weaknesses in their defense at least, because they were throwing the same strats in time and time again, maybe a little bit predictable. So if they are going to play in the grand final, for instance, I feel like that could be exploited slightly.
Well, I mean, I'm sure the teams from next week will definitely be watching whoever wins this one. Unfortunately, these two teams won't have a chance because they have to play back-to-back games. So it's definitely to the advantage of Pride that they're going to be able to watch the next match, study up, and see what will happen. But thanks again. We're going to jump to a short break, and then we'll be back for the losers bracket.